Hello, hello, and welcome to the 16th day of 1 Samuel October Bible reading. um, it's getting cold and everything. I had to bring out my jacket and everything. The next few days are going to get cold, and it's going to get in the 30s the next few days. And I was like, goodness. There's Brian Wheeler. I have straw in my mouth because heat stroke, something heat related. Can't talk unless I bite down something. Happened when I've in the army, 5 that. So that's why this. All right, but it's my birthday month. So I'm going to read my favorite book, 1 Samuel, for the entire month. Here we go. We are on the 16th day. I use the King James Version. So if you have yours, you can get yours and everything else. All right, now, 1 Samuel 16. Let's see what happens. And the Lord said unto Samuel, How long will you mourn for Saul, seeing that I have rejected him from reigning over Israel? Fill your horn now with oil, and go, and I will send you to Jesse the Bethlehemite, for I have provided me a king among his sons. And Samuel said, How can I go? If Saul hear it, he will kill me. And the Lord said, Take a heifer with you, and say, I have come to sacrifice to the Lord, and call Jesse to the sacrifice. And I will show you what you shall do, and you shall anoint him to whom I shall name unto you. And Samuel did that which the Lord spake, and came to Bethlehem. And the elders of the town trembled at his coming, and said, Comest thou peaceably? And he said, Peaceably. I am come to sacrifice unto the Lord. Sanctify yourselves, and come with me to the sacrifice. And he sanctified Jesse and his sons, and called them to the sacrifice. And it came to pass that when they were come, he looked on Eliab, and said, Surely the Lord's anointed is before him. But the Lord said to Samuel, Look not on his countenance, or on the height of his stature, for I have refused him. For the Lord seeth not as the man seeth, for man looks on the outward appearance, but the Lord looks upon the heart. Then Jesse called Abinadab to pass before Samuel, and he said, Neither has the Lord chosen this. Then Jesse made Shammah to pass by, and he said, Neither has the Lord chosen this. Again Jesse made 7 of his sons to pass before Samuel, and Samuel said unto Jesse, The Lord has not chosen these. And he said more to Jesse, Are here all thy children? And he replied, There remain yet the youngest, and behold, he keeps the sheep. And Samuel said, Send and fetch him, for we will not sit down till he comes. And he sent and brought him in. Now he was ruddy, and withal of a beautiful countenance, and goodly to look to. And the Lord said, Arise, anoint him, for this is he. Now supposedly, I'll get into it afterwards. Then Samuel took a horn of oil, and anointed him in the midst of his brethren. And the Spirit of the Lord came upon David from that day forward. So Samuel rose up and went to Ramah. But the Spirit of the Lord departed from Saul, and an evil spirit from the Lord troubled him. And Saul's servants said unto him, Behold now, an evil spirit from God troubleth thee. Let our Lord command thy servants which are before thee to seek out a man who is cunning player on a harp, and it shall come to pass, when the evil spirit from God is upon you, that he shall play with his hand, and you shall be well. And Saul said to his servants, Provide me now a man that can play well, and bring him to me. What voice is that? Then answered one of his servants, Behold, I have seen the son of Jesse, the Bethlehemite. He is cunning in playing, and a valiant man, and a man of war, prudent manners, and a comely person. The Lord is with him. Wherefore Saul sent messengers unto Jesse, and said, Send me David thy son, which is with the sheep. And Jesse took an ass laden with bread, and bottle of wine, and a kid, and sent by David his son unto Saul. And David came to Saul, and stood before him, and he loved him greatly, and he became his armor-bearer. And Saul sent to Jesse, saying, Let David, I pray, stand before me, for he has found favor on my sight. And it came to pass that when the evil spirit was upon Saul, that David took a harp and played with his hand. So Saul was refreshed and was well, and the evil spirit departed from him. Now, this is a little interesting, because you always think, or at least depictions, is that they always put David like he meets Saul for the first time when he goes to meet the whole thing with Goliath and stuff. But seemingly, he knew him a little bit beforehand. And he's like, oh, yeah. No, you're good, kid, and everything. Although, who was the previous armor bearer? Was he sad to be removed as the armor bearer? It was like, oh. But it's just kind of like, so David was known to him, but it's interesting what they know him as, is like cunning, man of war, and stuff like that. So some want to say this actually took place maybe in a way after the whole thing with Goliath. I've seen some comments about that, commentary about that reading before, but most of the time he was known before, but it's just interesting what they describe him as, because he was known for killing lions and bears. Like, yeah, this shepherd kid, he's killing lions and bears, although I think actually when he faces Goliath, he might be around 16, maybe around 16, really. I know people put him at younger, like 10 or 12, but I think he's actually around 16. Now, supposedly, from what I understand, what it means when he's ruddy or accountants, or whatever. I think it uses the same type Hebrew or something to indicate like red hair or something like Saul, like not Saul, Esau. So he kind of was like red, like Esau or something. So he might have been like a redhead. I think that's a accepted kind of thing about him. So I was like, oh, okay. But what was the other thing? The evil spirit thing. I think it's supposed to be like a demonic spirit or something, not necessarily from the Lord, but something that was created because they were created at one time, but they fell. But it's just that they didn't exactly have a word for that at that time. So that's just translated from that the way that is. So either way, it's just like, but tomorrow, chapter 17, the famous chapter, Goliath. Oh boy, we're going to see what happens with Goliath, aren't we? All right, well, we'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.